And it is a brand new, well, sort of new session of Poker Time. We've never seen this session before.
It's a vintage Poker Time, a Poker Time classic, as you might be able to tell by Batiste being there. Found in our vaults.
Yeah.
And we're bringing it to you, the lucky viewer.
And why are we doing that, Grant?
Well, there's something called the coronavirus.
Yes, it's a coronavirus.
It's hard to shoot new Poker Time.
There's no live poker being played, but luckily we've got video of old live poker that was played that we've never showed you.
And so now you know that we're not being irresponsible also. So look at that. We win in every aspect. Hey, it's the battle of the 8-5s. We've got Austin and Ken. Ken, of course, many of you know. Austin has played on Poker Time one other time.
Ken had the backdoor flush draw, but now it is just going to be a chop if they realize their equity, which I kind of think they're going to.
This is going to be incredible.
I got an 8. Get an 8 beat.
And don't fold over somebody else's reader. Wow.
Ken loves it.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, you see Digital Dan there.
You know what?
Thinking, maybe in 2 years there will be a pandemic. I don't know.
A year and a half, something like that, yeah. Yeah, this was shot in 2018.
This has got to be the biggest game.
Late-ish 2018. Just, we shoot a lot of video. We don't show it all to you, but now we're forced to.
It's exciting.
Actually, it is. It's great.
Into the vault. We have Batiste on the show, man. It's cool to have Batiste back. We're gonna have Snuggie on this show eventually.
I hope bad things happen to Batiste just so we can see his face.
Of course.
I just want to see the reactions.
There
Not
we
that I
have,
want bad things to happen to him besides that. I hope then good things happen to him afterward. But if he could be upset for a second or two, that'd be great. Like,
He looks upset already.
He's you know what? Very small things have to happen to Batiste.
He's like, what the hell? Why don't I have aces? It's second hand. All right, Austin. Looks like he's going to come out swinging with the 8-4 suited here.
All right, nice to see. Showing a little speed on the button.
Ken should really 3-bet or fold. And it looks
Ken
like
agrees.
he's opting for fold.
That is not a Ken-like play, but Ken somehow reaching into the past and getting his past self to fold the ace-5. I feel like that's usually a call for Ken.
Yep.
Although it is the beginning of the session, and something we always see is
The first one is kind of a win.
the beginning of sessions, people play a little tighter.
True. That might be a call for Ken in 14 minutes.
Yeah, we'll find out.
No, you're 8 played, right?
No,
Gone that
played
way.
board. King, queen, jack, deuce, deuce.
Oh, pair, you're right. Damn, if I knew we would shop it.
Peter is another one-time player. I believe this is the only session Peter ever played of Poker Time.
I believe that's true. There he is.
A moment in time, Jonathan. This really makes you think about the nature of reality.
Just, who we were and who we are, man.
And is that the same person, man?
Wow.
If a ship sets out to sea, and by the time it returns from its journey, all of the parts have been replaced, is it still the same
How
ship?
would all the parts be replaced? If
I mean,
it's
over
at
time.
sea?
Over time. It leaves port in.
It's a weird way
It
to
leaves
phrase
port
that.
in
There's so many better ways
in
to ask that
Bangladesh,
question.
and over the course of 4 years, it docks in many other places. But by the time it returns to Bangladesh, no single part is the same as when it left. Is it the same ship, Jonathan?
Blake has the jack of clubs in his hand.
Yes, he does.
And he's the only guy. I guess Will does have a pair and currently has the best hand, but you see Blake has the most equity.
I see that you don't like classic philosophy brain teasers. That's fine.
I mean, this has already been explored in the book. John dies at the end, and in a much better put way than you did.
I don't know. I feel like as poker guys, we're supposed to lift each other up rather than disparage the other poker guy. It's good for the brand overall.
Blake turns the second nuts here.
Yeah. Sure does. Wheel, is he going to go for it? It would be a bad time, I think.
In theory, though, it's not a bad time. It just actually is a bad time.
Right. And Blake is not a guy, for those of you who are longtime viewers who have seen Blake play before, he's not often interested in folding hands like this, nor should he be at this point.
No, of course not.
But Blake is not a guy who's going to fold pretty much no matter what.
I agree. I think if Wheel, finds a shove at some point, I don't think Blake's probably folding. But Wheel checks. Actually, I don't hate a bet only because Blake has a lot of hands. Wheel's certainly losing on the turn, right? And so betting there to get to fold out better pairs is not a bad idea.
This feels like a check for Blake.
Well, he's trying to get called by any club or maybe trip kings. It's not totally insane.
It's not insane.
I think it's fine to bet. Wheel can have when Wheel checks back, he has something. Most of the time.
Nah.
Well, some of the time. But he can have a lot of medium clubs there. Right? Like, Wheel's not going to bet his medium clubs very often.
Sorry, I'm just still mad about how you disparaged me. It's hard to analyze poker when
Yeah.
I've been disparaged.
I think it is the same ship, by the way, even though you can make a very reasonable case that it isn't, and I think it's a great philosophical question. I'm just saying, in the book Giant Dies at the End, the prologue is that question, but done much more interestingly. It's about an axe and a zombie.
I mean, it's from like an ancient Greek philosopher.
It's from the book Giant Dies at the End. Which is a weird book and a weirder movie. Really strange. And I'm going to spoil it. John doesn't die at the end.
What the hell?
Yeah. How weird is that?
Hey, Digital Dan has big slick suited.
This is back in the day when we were like, do you know why they call him Digital Dan?
And you know what the answer is? We're never going to tell you again.
Yeah. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
That's been
Maybe
done.
you should have paid attention if you wanted to know.
You were busy on your telephone scrolling the internet.
Was it? Did telephones have the internet in August 2018 when this was filmed? Was that
No.
flip phones?
No, that was pre-texting, I think. I mean, the people texted, but they had to do that, like, weird, like you hit the number
T9.
4 times. Yeah,
T9,
T9,
yeah.
exactly. That was rough, man.
Yeah,
Texting was very hard.
Bill Clinton was president, I think.
Monica Lewinsky was vice president.
Yeah,
I think.
2018.
It's hard to remember.
2018, I think that was when
It's
she
hard
was
to
vice
remember.
president. Yeah.
So much has changed in the times of the virus.
Yeah.
And we say that sort of jokingly, but also very, very much that's the truth.
Yeah.
Very, very much.
That's why we're on.
This may never air because the internet stops working between the time we
God.
record this and the time we
We
air it.
think about that. I will say, I hope all of you out there watching, you're feeling fine. and
Yeah, hope you're doing
okay.
well. Hope you're all doing
There's
well.
a reasonable chance everyone's just like in their homes, not doing much of anything. So we're putting this out as a way to
Have fun with
hopefully
it. Enjoy.
a way to enjoy poker that you haven't seen before.
And maybe consider the question of the philosophical ship.
Batiste gonna open. Sorry, BMW Blake gonna open. Excuse me, the ace 10 off, and Batiste gonna call on the button. The super reasonable hand. Could have 3-bet there, Blake. Although Blake likes to limp his bad aces and raise with his better ones. So
I suppose that's true. Batiste flops best. Blake does have the 10 high flush
it's
draw.
sort of the same flop for Blake as last time, where the ace jack off. The jack of clubs is pretty similar. Batiste can't fold immediately, but things might get a little hairy.
I miss that long flowing hair.
I know.
E.
I know. Well, that's a pretty good card for Batiste. And Blake checks. That's pretty good, too. I think Batiste should probably be betting here, deny equity.
Yeah, you'd expect that most of Blake's better hands than a 9 are going to keep betting.
Yep. And, if Blake has a big heart like he has, or any heart, you hate to just give him a free card.
Well, Batiste is going to roll the dice, and it
And-
worked out well.
We'll see if Blake takes a shot or if Blake tries to take a showdown value, which is not crazy here.
I don't think Batiste is ever folding.
No, I don't think so either. So Blake,
He
Blake thought
gives up
about
on
it.
it. Good, probably a good give up.
Yeah. Now Batiste has a pretty easy check back.
Yeah, really tough to get value from a worse hand. Any 9 is a chop except for ace 9, which beats you.
Yeah, so you're looking to get called by pocket 8s, which you block, or pocket 7s is the next best hand.
Yeah.
You might get called by those hands, but you might not. Blake sometimes will put on his cape, though, and make some calls with ace high. We've seen it.
Can you elaborate on why you think it's the same ship?
Because the spirit of the ship lives.
The
there's
soul?
There's people who are on the ship. They're calling it the same ship. They're treating it as the same ship.
What if every crew member is overturned?
I still think it's the same ship, but it gets tougher if every crew member is. I guess the question is also what period of time does this take place over, right? If it's a week, it feels like it's.
No, 4 years.
Oh, you said 4 years?
Yeah.
Oh, see, in the book, it's a different period. I think it's like 10 years.
Ken makes it 35 with Queen Jack suited.
Batiste
Call 35.
dominating.
Call 35.
Wheel is in a meditative place, and it's nice to see.
Meditating his way to calling with King 3 out of the small blind.
He's becoming one with the clubs. Digital Dan says,
One with the clubs. I believe Usher held that title from 2002 to 2009.
Yeah, but now
Now it belongs to Wheel.
and there's only one club.
Not much of a flop for anybody.
That
Well,
ha-
actually, Ken flops a flush draw. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm like strapped to the table here.
It's always so interesting. You have a hand like a suited connector or something, and the window card is like the perfect card. You got the 7-6 of spades, and the first card is the 5 of spades.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, this could be a thing, and then you
It's
just
like ace
break
of
out.
diamonds, deuce of diamonds.
Yeah, it's like never mind.
The same way that you only remember, or it's easier to remember losing with aces than winning with them. Those instances are a lot easier to remember than the times that you actually do flop the combo draw.
Sure.
Because I feel like I that happens to me, and I'm like, it always happens like that. That's just my luck,
I mean, it's always so incredible to actually flop a combo draw. Anyway, it's like, woohoo! What a deal. It feels so good.
They usually have the cool hits.
Yeah, anytime I flop a combo draw, I'm like, same ship.
Same ship, different day, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what you would say. What has Blake got on his T-shirt there? Is that a harp? I think it was a harp.
It might be he is a musician.
Yeah.
I don't know if he plays the harp, but he's a musician.
Digital Dan, known for slow playing big players, but even he cannot slow play.
In a limped pot
from the
in
small
the small
blind.
blind, that's maybe the worst time ever to play slow play big pair unless you know the big blind is raising because of some sort of reputational thing.
By the way, Peter decided to limp the 10 deuce suited.
All right, so we
The
got one
cutoff,
of
so we
we
know
got one of
something.
those guys.
Yep.
Wheel, we have no idea what he has, except
Looks
he
like-
looks kind of sad. Looks like he was having a bad day that
Really
day.
does. He
I'm
seems
glad he
like-
got past that. Poor 2018 Wheel.
Oops. Maybe he didn't get past it and he just is trying to smile the pain away.
Oh yeah, that works.
People do that.
It's there's scientific proof that works.
Wheel with pocket threes. It's a pretty good flop for Digital Dan.
It's good enough. It's not fantastic. He's
Yeah.
not super thrilled about it, but
It's not
he knows
7-7 deuce.
he has
but-
equity against almost everything.
Exactly. Wheel does not rate to have a straight very often, and certainly not the nut straight.
65.
Or a set.
Is Wheel gonna not fold? Of course he's gonna fold. He
Yeah,
just
wait.
always
That's
I
the
fall
Wheel
for it
move.
every time.
The wheel move.
He never ever ever means it, and I always fall for it. I'm like Charlie Brown with the football, Does anyone know that reference anymore?
Charlie Brown and the football. Yeah, he plays for the Atlanta Falcons, right?
Yeah, he's a tight
He
end.
has multiple concussions. He's suing the NFL.
Is he gonna make light of that now, huh? What kind of person are you?
Charlie Brown. I'm on his side.
I don't know.
In times of virus, everything is funny.
Yeah, that's right. Why not? It's
Yeah, there's 6.
Gallus humor all the time.
No, that's okay. So his name is BMW Blake for a reason because he restores a certain type of BMW model. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called 2002, but it's not from 2002. It's from like the 80s, and I think that's supposed to be the front grille of one of those on Blake's shirt.
So the front grill of one of those BMWs is a harp. That's weird.
Yeah, it can be.
I guess it's not crazy though. You pick like you could like a trumpet would be a cool.
I don't
grill for a
understand
car.
your sense of humor sometimes.
The look you give me when I say these things is so. You're just like I don't have time for this, even though you do. I know you do.
I don't though. I could be thinking about something else. My mind space is valuable.
So Ken checks and Batista's just gonna
Ooh, Ken is not giving up yet.
look at that. Ken likes his ace highs.
I know that's what they said.
See, well, that's a card that is probably going to slow Batiste down.
Yeah, you would expect so.
Hard to continue. He could try and get Ken off of a queen.
Check. Check.
Check.
Ken doing everything he can to get Batiste to check, and it works. And there's the ace for Ken.
Well, now
This is a
there's-
good time to check.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't see getting value from Orr's hand too frequently unless Batiste gets real sticky with a king.
Yeah, now Batiste is in a spot where if he raises, he's going to get value either way, right? Not value, but he's going to screw Ken up either way. If Batiste folds, Ken gets no value. Batiste, of course, could raise, and that would probably work too. That's exactly the kind of card Batiste would probably take a shot on.
Yeah.
Just do your best to look disappointed and check when that ace comes.
Yeah.
And then make a sad call when he actually does bet a large amount. Hope to be good.
Yeah.
You gonna fix that?
They're kind of fat.
What was best picture in 2018? Was that the English Patient?
Kind of got something on them or something.
That was best picture one year, but it was further back.
Okay.
It was like 2014.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's one of the Marvel movies, probably.
Gladiator?
I mean, these are good movies. English Patient, Gladiator.
Never saw the English Patient.
It was good.
You got an apple in your pocket or something?
That's a weird question to ask.
It's
man
a
at the table.
incredible love story
That you just met. You're just out.
in a war-torn country.
I mean, Peter, we friends, but
Sounds
please don't ever ask me why I have an
tropey.
apple in my pocket.
You're tropey. It's good.
I'm a trophy.
Speaking of trophies, Gladiator much?
What?
Top pair for Wheel, but a
But
set
it's
for
set.
Austin.
This could be, well, luckily it's monochromatic for Wheel, so he's
Yeah.
not going to be too excited about the board.
Even Austin's probably gonna take a little bit of care here.
He could raise here, but
could.
I could definitely see him just calling also.
You just worry about the kind of value you're gonna get. You're mostly only getting value from big hearts
Yep.
when you raise, which isn't so bad to get value there. But once in a while, you of course are drawing. You're losing once in a while. I think in position, I like just a call here.
Looks like that's what he did, and for some reason...
Oh,
Oh, the
you know
board
what? It
was
not monochromatic.
Oh, this has been a lie. Well, now there's a third heart.
Oh, that really changes things, actually.
It does, and the board's all wrong. But
Austin really could have raised. Yeah, so that 6 of hearts doesn't exist. It's the Jack of clubs on there, right?
no,
Jack of something.
8 of clubs, and the Jack of hearts hit the
Oh,
turn.
Jack of hearts, you're right, came on the turn.
Either way, Austin has this hand on lockdown for real.
Yeah.
I love Vadim. I have
We're probably not going to go folding just yet.
Just don't like getting.
But did Wheel bet?
Yeah, he did.
It's all very confusing. Okay, that's the actual board.
Yep, and
He's going to bet again?
I don't really see a ton of value
It's
in
got to be a
betting.
blocking bet, right?
1, 2.
Or he's doing the wheel
400.
thing.
1, 2, 490.
No, it's a
Nope.
real bet. Let's see how much he bets. 150 and
not
255.
really-
It's just a normal value bet. He's
Yeah.
trying to get called by a worse ace. Wheel may have saved himself money, though, by choosing the sizing himself instead of checking to Austin.
Or he could have check folded.
Or he could have check folded, depending on the
When
sizing.
Austin calls twice on that board and then
Yeah.
bets the river, it's pretty
Yeah.
strong.
That's a fair point.
Considering there was no one card flush draw on the flop that could have come in on the turn.
Mm-hmm.
By that I mean, of course, backdoor flush draw on the flop that comes in on the turn.
Right. Yeah, for him to call twice feels like he's either got a flush or at least an ace, which he's going to check back. He's not going to bet a better ace for value on the river, and he's probably not going to turn into a
I
block.
tried that on you.
That's a fair
You
point.
were in the bathroom. Go. Was there a flush on the board?
Jay, I thought you had
Oh,
There's
Wheel.
that smile.
Wheel loses, and now he's happy. You just got to get that guy losing a little bit of money.
You remember that? Yeah. Nothing like representing something that somebody doesn't see.
Yeah, I read that in a poker book. You don't want to play too far over the head of the person you're playing.
There's Peter.
Fold.
Can I say what they call this hand?
Wheel limping with the king 10. Let's see
I'm
Digital
guessing
Dan
it says
does.
some moose.
No, Digital Dan. Why limp behind?
He wants to, play poker, see a flop.
Yeah. Look at Austin's face. Austin is so intense.
75.
He looks like 11, when he's trying to like open a door that's locked or something like that. I'm waiting for a little bit of blood to run down out of one of his nostrils.
Call 75.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Fold.
Really? Wait till you see his face again, man.
Fold.
He's so intense.
Are we going to get a limp call from 2 king 10 offs?
Looks like it. It's a pretty good spot for nines with 3 kings out there already.
Fold.
An ambitious call by Ken, by the way, with king jack off.
Agreed.
When Austin makes it 75 there.
Agreed with the 2 limps.
Dan did fold.
I'm folding. You taught me that at the other table.
3 players.
Unless it's jacks. It's over there. Oh, okay.
Well, that is not the flop Austin wanted to see, although he is safe at the moment against the actual hands he's against.
I would expect him to bet this.
There he is.
There's the guy.
He's out of position, but I still would expect him to fire 1 barrel.
Wait, can we put a mic on
There is.
first before you make such
125 and a 250.
125. Fold. Fold.
Let me
And
guess.
You heard the Batiste cackle. That is
saved
Snuggie
you a seat.
related. For those who are longtime poker time viewers, you'll remember Snuggie.
Know that.
Yeah, king ten.
So this is a real throwback because we got Batiste and
What's
Snuggie.
that hand called?
Snuggie used to do some wacky stuff.
He likes to play a lot of hands. He gets a little wacky.
Always.
I remember him doing things like limping, queen 6 off. It was like raise, and he would
He, like,
shove
5-bet
queen
shoved
he
queen 6.
into aces.
And he flopped a gut shot, I think.
Yeah, I think he turned a pair too, but he lost.
Thank
Maybe he
God
turned a
for
flush
poker
draw,
time.
but whatever, he
Cameras
missed.
are happy to hear that.
That was many poker times ago.
Once
Yes.
a week, right? Poker time?
Yeah.
Call 10.
Freshly washed. That's a weird way
Wheel
to say
limping under the
washed.
gun. Here's Ken with ace king.
Carries freshly
Fold.
washed.
Fold. Raise to 40.
Ace king against ace king here. And Blake,
Raise.
the
Blake's gonna
3
put-
better.
That's good. Did he make it pretty small? He did.
He made it very small, but
super small. Whoa!
Oh.
And Peter's got sevens.
seven's okay.
Still feels a little optimistic.
Wheel should probably fold.
Yeah. I think
Ken
so.
could always put in a 4-bet, you know.
Yeah, Wheels only put in $10. It's currently 85. Ken probably should put in a 4-bet when Peter calls in the big
Especially
blind
when
here.
Blake has made it so small.
Yep,
Raise. 400.
there it is.
Oh, big 4-bet.
I like it a lot.
This should get rid of Peter. I don't know what Blake's going to do. He could move in.
He could move in. He could call. Either one is reasonable.
Blasphemer.
Blake's hand's just a little too good to throw away, I think. Ace-king suited here.
Peter, what did you start the hand with there? Or I'm sorry, what did you buy?
He does block the hands he'd be most concerned about, which is nice. That said, Ken would play aces just like this. We've seen him do it.
We got mics now.
There's the call.
Hell yeah.
400.
Peter now in a super weird spot where he's already put in 10%
Just
of his
missing
stack.
Yeah, he pretty much has to fold.
Yeah. Sort of sucks, though. There's 900 in there. He's getting 3-1, but only 600 left, so.
Well, Ken has a massive chance to win this pot as the pre-flop aggressor.
Agreed. Sometimes Ken will go into check mode when he misses, but let's see.
Well, they both whiff pretty big time here.
Ken looks like he's just going to fire up 400 again.
400.
Not much Blake can do except for just fold.
Yeah, that one diamond is not enough. They're not deep enough to do anything here. Seemed like pull the trigger before in these spots, but feels like discretion be the better part of valor. Can see Snuggie getting mic'd up in the background by one of our lackeys, one of our interns.
One of those pieces of crap.
And he's going to fold it.
Fold.
2 queens. Oh, same hand.
And I have both of them.
We have returned. Blake still wounded from being shown the same hand after he folded,
Indeed.
losing $400 in the pot.
2K. Is that enough?
And Snuggie has sat down.
He's wearing the Don Henley sunglasses.
Okay, we got ace-king again.
That's what we were waiting for.
Raise.
You're the reason we got the mics, buddy. Raises. This is the whole level.
There's Snuggie. Got a whole Don Henley thing going on here, not just the sunglasses. The hairdo, the colors.
2018, is that when Don Henley was popular?
I mean, probably. He was probably popular then. All right, a lot of reasonable hands in these spots that they're in. We'll, of course, close in the action with the Queen 7 is suited. Makes sense.
Ace-high flop. Good news for Austin.
Yep,
He's
probably
got-
won't get any action, but
He's got the field at 18%. That's pretty good.
that is pretty good. You're right.
Bet.
It's a
75.
pretty dry board. You're not losing them much.
Peter
Blake
might
is
call.
not folding?
Blake is gonna.
Did he raise?
He's gonna at least call. It looks like a raise.
I
Yeah.
think he made it 175.
He is repping
Whoa.
a set. He
Yeah, I
does
think he's repping 6-6 here, or ace deuce suited.
something like that.
It's weird to pick king queen and just do it with two people behind you.
Call 175.
I like Austin just calling here.
Oh, yeah.
Blake has a stack where he could expect to try to get it in at some point in the hand.
Yeah, the stack to pot really would.
Well, 3-5 got there, which is an unlikely holding for either player.
Yeah, 6-4 suited gets there, ace-4 gets there, but come on. As Austin, I think as Austin, the plan just is to be let's just get it in. You're like, go ahead, Blake.
Well,
Fire at will.
Blake couldn't have been value raising on the flop, so I would expect he's going to continue with some frequency, but I guess not.
I think he knows that he's up against a big ace a lot now and decides it's not worth trying to get it through, and he's right. Now the question is, should Austin go for value or should he check? Blake, as we know, sometimes will raise top pair on the flop.
Yeah, he could have a hand like ace-8. So against Blake specifically, I think it's okay to go for value.
Yeah.
Against a lot of players, it would probably be a mistake.
Yeah. Blake also likes to call.
Yep.
So yeah, I think this is a good bet.
Of course, Blake folds.
Yeah.
So Blake just took one shot in there and decided to give up on the whole plan.
Yep.
The guy I know can carry around 13 donuts at one time.
Those of you who don't know Snuggie, I can tell you one thing he does well is needle. He's really into needling.
Yeah, he not interested in making friends at the poker table.
Yeah, you know how like people on reality shows say they're not here to make friends? Snuggie's actually not here.
Yeah.
To make friends. Those
Yeah.
people are kind of lying, you know.
Snuggie does it with a smile, but he says stuff that like is intended to hurt to the core.
Raise. 40.
2 queens for Ken.
Call 40. Fold. Fold.
And Blake is Blaking it up.
Yeah. If he puts a bad beat on Ken, he can just play that harp, play sweet music on that harp and serenade him a sad song.
It's a good, yeah. I'm glad you said that.
Thanks, man.
Well, he's partway there.
Yeah, top pair, 2 back doors. It's kind of a dream flop for this hand.
It's not bad, that's for sure.
Like only with 695 back.
You're expecting him to raise?
No, I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm just reporting the news here.
Fold. Heads up.
Well, that's a real bad card for Blake.
Yeah,
Gonna
super bad.
Need a jack in order to win the hand.
120.
I mean, I don't know how you fold top pair for
I think
120.
Ken's going to get 3 streets a lot of the time here.
Agreed. If he sizes it up on the river, it's not a good sign usually. We'll see what the river brings though.
It's a pretty bricky card.
Super bricky. No club, no
He
overcard.
did not size it up, so Blake has already called, it looks like.
Yeah. Ken may actually play 2 10s like this.
He might.
That's the good news.
This
But he plays all better jacks like this too.
this hand illustrates something that we talked about in a recent poker time about how your preflop range decisions matter a lot for your overall profitability in games that have thin margins like No Limit Hold'em, because Blake didn't have to play Jack 4 suited, but once he did play Jack 4 suited, he entered a scenario where it was reasonable for him to call down 3 streets.
Yeah, so forgetting about even the 40 he puts in pre-flop, he puts in another 450 post-flop
Right.
because he decided to put that 40 in pre-flop. So that's $490 that he doesn't get to keep.
Right, and you might be thinking, well, he would have played Jack 10 suited and that would have been reasonable.
Yeah.
But that means that his frequencies are off. He has too many jacks in his range that are going to lose to queens in that spot, and
Right.
weakening his range in that way pre-flop leaks money over time.
Yeah, of course. And of course also he's going to miss a lot on the flop and just be out $40 that he shouldn't be out a lot too, right? Also, he has to do something with all these other hands, not just call, but he has to bluff more, he has to call more. He's gonna do something too much usually. He's gonna fold too much, call too much, raise too much, bluff too much, whatever it is. And the astute players at the table will figure out what that is and be able to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, of course, just like that's anyone who's playing really wide ranges. Speaking of Blake, he does a very reasonable hand here with the king-queen suited. Called by Peter with the ace-8 off in the cutoff. I know one person doesn't like that call. He's sitting on my left. You, Grant, I'm talking about you.
That's a bad spot with me on your left, bro. You're never going to get a raise through.
Top pair for Blake. This should be pretty straightforward.
They say you should defend 100%. It's close, right? That was the line.
95.
Peter looking a little frustrated.
Yeah.
Very good.
Ken wasn't
You
in the
get,
hand.
you get a little longer to get a hand there.
Look, you
My
got the
ace
outfit
10
now?
was no good, huh?
Oh, no.
I mean, Snuggie looks like he's living in Miami. Am I crazy? With that shirt?
It's definitely
that
the
color?
sunglasses on the head thing.
Yeah.
With the shirt and the hair. It's everything.
I need him to drive up in like a Corvette with the top down and be like, hey.
Playing Hungry Like the Wolf.
Nice. And if you guys don't know what Hungry Like the Wolf is, you have a lot of time right now to research it.
Yeah.
You're just sitting at home. We know you are. So this is a good time to look that up. Duran Duran.
It's the good Duran Duran song.
Well, that's one of them.
Rio is terrible.
Ordinary World. That's the really good
Okay.
Duran Duran song.
Okay, but Hungry Like the Wolf is the good rockin' one.
That's pretty good.
40.
Rio is awful. The chorus of Rio is good. The rest of Rio sounds like garbage cans being smashed together.
I think the worst Duran Duran hit of all time, though, is Girls on Film. Which
Oh,
is just
yeah,
them
that's terrible.
Girls on Film. Girls on Film. Like, come on, guys.
That's like Duran Duran's version of Uptown Girl, which is my all-time least
You
favorite
do
song.
hate that song. to a really strange degree. Okay, here we go. Everyone's got reasonable hands, and it's a flush draw for the Snug man. Top pair for Ken.
You said that kind of like Rick from Rick and Morty.
Thank you.
It's a flush draw for the Snug man. Ken will not be folding.
Blake has not folded yet.
I mean,
which is a little
he could be
strange.
ahead. It's a pretty dry board. Ken doesn't rate
Is he
to
moving
necessarily
in?
have anything.
He only has $330 back.
He could get it in against Snuggie and have like 50% of the equity, by the way.
If he moves in, Ken's probably going to fold. Probably. He probably should fold with Snuggie's under the gun range. Although Snuggie can be pretty wide also. I think Blake's going to find a fold here ultimately. There it is.
Card go away. Cards go away.
We know Ken is among the stickiest players on Poker Time, so I don't know if Snuggie remembers that or knows that back then. But
Well, he's got the king high flush draw, so it's
Yeah.
reasonable to be continuing. And
Ooh,
especially
wow.
that turn card.
What a card.
Definitely a card that Snuggie should continue on. And
But
he checks it.
Ooh,
Wow.
it would have been a great time, especially with how deep they are. To take a shot there. He can fire pretty much all rivers.
Oh, he gets there. He has a shot there. Oh, Ken is going to
my.
bet.
Well,
225.
he bets big, too.
Call 225.
Snuggie just calls with the second nuts.
He's like, oh, you just have a jack.
That was strange.
That was an odd bet by Ken. It doesn't really work as a bluff, and it doesn't really work as a value bet.
Agreed on everything. He bet big, too. I'm also surprised. It doesn't seem like Snuggie even considered raising with the second nuts.
Yeah,
It
I
didn't even
guess
occur to him to raise.
he thought that Ken had like jack deuce or something. I don't know.
I guess the board is paired.
It's not the second nuts. Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
Darvin Moon over here.
Yeah, you're
Doesn't
right.
know the deuce is paired.
That's fair.
Lee. Not played bad. Played it badly.
I guess at least Ken sized it up a bit, too. It was a bigger bet. It's hard to get called by that many worse hands with Snuggie.
Well, we're gonna have to live in the universe of this hand forever because the interns
Yeah.
are terrible. There we go.
That
Finally.
said, I mean, if Ken had a flush, he was going to call a raise. Any flush. I can tell you right now.
Maybe even
I
a
play with
queen.
Ken.
Maybe even if he somehow had a
Yeah,
queen.
trip deuces, he's calling also. But anyway,
Raise
Queen's
30.
great. Queen kills his kicker.
It's got top
Oh.
pair, man.
Not on the turn.
No.
On
I'm
the
saying
turn.
No,
it-
he
Yeah,
could
but
have
how many queens do you have?
with the queen.
Call
the queen
30.
protects his kicker. Nonetheless, it was a pretty
You're
sweet
not
turn.
supposed to like that card either.
Snuggie with the good king 10, we with the bad king 10.
3 play.
Dude, 2 flush draws. It's not even funny to
No,
joke about.
It really isn't even funny. Ken flops best. Looks like Wheel's going to
Bet.
drive right through this green light, though.
I don't think he's getting through Ken.
No chance.
Call 60.
One thing Ken doesn't do is fold when he has anything.
That
He's
is-
got showdown value. He is calling. At least a few streets and often all the way.
He's not the best bluff target.
Agreed. And that card is not going to help Wheel's case. Let's see if Wheel just shuts it down here. It wouldn't surprise me if he does. Like, what are you hoping to fold out? You have a 10 in your hand. You're blocking some of the gutters that might have called anyway. Well, he's going to take a shot. Maybe he's targeting a 7 if he actually bets.
130.
Look how quickly Ken calls.
Call 1.
I like how Wheel sized it, but Ken doesn't even have a thought in his mind of folding.
Well, maybe it can work on the river.
Yep,
But
maybe.
knowing Wheel, I don't think he's going to take a shot. He often doesn't
Yeah.
go for 3 barrels.
Let's see if he takes his time. He insta checks, and I don't think it was going to work anyway, honestly, unless he went really big.
I certainly don't blame him for not going for it.
I agree. I think the first shot was fine. On that board against Ken, you're probably supposed to give up on the turn. But, we're doing actual theory here. You're supposed to have some bluffs. Of course, we blocked some of the straight draws we wanted him to have with the 10 in our hand. Anyway, here's the current cumulative winnings.
Looks like Ken and Wheel, the players of that last pot, are really on the opposite ends. of
Blake
this.
and Austin also on the polarized parts of that board.
Yep.
Guys like Digital Dan are just sitting around.
Just
making enough
collecting
money to go-
interest.
just trying to go to the movies with that $25, buy a popcorn.
Go to the Netflix right now.
Raise.
It's not even fair. Guys like Batiste getting aces.
It's just not even fair. Shouldn't be allowed.
That's the kind of thing Jesse May says a lot.
Yep. Do a Jesse May impression.
Yeah. Do you think here, though?
That's pretty good. I'm hearing it.
Do you think here he's got like just a flavor of what Ken's got, of what he's calling with, and what he needs to have, and what he's looking for? Do you think he just knows? Oh, look at this, by the way. Blake's going to put in a 3-bet.
Well, he's trying to get all the chips in, which makes sense with his stack.
Now, if you're Batiste, now he's just got to be inside. He's just, and he's just going to call.
That's pretty good.
I've been listening to some Jesse May lately. He is
He does
ridiculous
He
all
does
the time.
assign a lot of like weird ethereal thought processes.
Oh my gosh. So much of the time.
And Blake
Wow.
flops a 9, and
Oh,
we're
well.
gonna get to see the Batiste face, guys.
Yeah. Batista will probably comment on how lucky he is that Blake doesn't have any money in front of him. It's
Just a
only
little
going to
jab,
cost.
little jab.
Yeah. It only costs Batista like $300. There's the ship. There's the call.
Yeah, Blake just
Let's,
check calls.
let's look for the face.
3 of them.
Yeah. Had a king and was out of
Yeah, you got king.
All in
He
for
has a
180.
king. Ken has a king in his
And a
hand.
call.
I've seen better Batiste face for sure.
Yeah, that was actually disappointing. Maybe if he can turn an ace and river a 9 or something.
No such luck.
Damn it.
Maybe he'll break now.
Yeah. Not so fun anymore, is it, Batiste? No, damn it. He's happy.
That sucks.
I think he's like, I could have lost a whole lot more money than that, I'm glad we didn't have $1,500 in front of us because against Blake, I'm probably going to lose it all.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or at least a huge pot.
Just play heads up with him all night long. He'll come out good. You'll be just fine.
If I could get aces every time, I would.
He would probably, and it wouldn't take very long.
Snuggie trying to needle Batiste, saying that Blake can lose to everybody at the table, but can beat Batiste.
Some days that's just true.
Yeah.
But you know what we say? Don't blame the dealer. It's not the dealer's fault. It's the seat's fault.
Great.
It's a hot seat. Got a hot seat here. Peter thinking about it, but releasing.
Call 10.
Do you think that you can just tell that Wheel has 3 kids and one of them is about to go to college by the way that he put the chips in the middle there?
I mean, Austin here.
Raise.
How does he just know? He just knows. He just knows that he's
He
going
just
to be able
has
to
a
put
sense.
pressure.
Just Wheel's just like acting a little flabbergasted by the situation, perhaps.
By the way, Blake has kings.
Okay.
And
Maybe we should-
Snuggie has ace-queen suited, and Snuggie just called here. And Blake is kind of short still.
Yeah, I think Blake's going to definitely put in a 3-bet, and it would not be unreasonable for Snuggie to go with it pre-flop.
Especially if there are calls behind of Blake's, if anyone calls this. Like if Austin decides to call.
That had nothing to do with me.
I would be surprised if Austin decided to call
Let's see what the
280.
side. Was it 280? Oh, yeah, that's too much. But Snuggie just putting it in here is completely reasonable.
I'm being told by the interns that this is the last hand
Really? So soon.
of this episode.
So soon.
Poker Guys Classic.
Yeah. It's like Coke. Cocaine, I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Not Coca-Cola.
It'll make you happy for a little while.
Let's see if Snuggie does indeed.
That much? 400 or so?
Really? Jesus, I just got here too.
And he
Snuggie
does move him in.
Knows he's in probably bad shape.
Basis.
No, you got kings?
I do.
Good, I got 1 over. And I'm suited.
Good luck.
Well, Snuggie does have 21%.
Yeah, not super great, but can't fault how he played it.
Ace must have been folded for him to only have 21%.
Yeah, it was actually Peter folded ace 3 off.
And it looks like
Yeah.
unless an ace comes, Blake's going to make a full comeback on the last hand.
He did it.
And he does.
Nice job. Blake claps like a happy person or a seal might.
Or a sad person pretending to be happy. Anyway, we'll see if anybody fakes any more emotions next week on the next episode of Poker Guys Classic.
Poker time.
There you go.